Moose is a genus of mammals from the order Artiodactyls, which stands out for its impressive size and is the largest representative of the deer family. Traditionally, the genus includes two species, the European moose and the American moose. Interestingly, these two species differ in the number of chromosomes, 68 and 70, respectively. However, despite this genetic difference, moose of these species are able to interbreed and form hybrids. Moreover, they live in the same territory in Eastern Siberia. Due to these facts, modern science increasingly considers the European and American moose as subspecies of a single species. The moose's appearance is very remarkable and makes it easy to distinguish it from other members of the deer family. Males reach impressive sizes, up to 3 meters in length, up to 2.3 meters in height at the withers, while the tail length is only 12 to 13 centimeters. Body weight ranges from 360 to 600 kilograms, and in some regions, such as the Russian Far East and Canada, it can reach 655 kilograms. Females tend to be smaller than males. The body of the moose is characterized by a short neck and torso, as well as a pronounced high withers forming a hump. The moose's legs are disproportionately long, which forces it to go deep into the water or stand on its wrists to quench its thirst. The moose's head is massive, with a hooked nose and a fleshy, overhanging upper lip. Under the throat there is a characteristic leathery outgrowth called an earring, the length of which can reach 25 to 40 centimeters. The coat is coarse, mostly brownish-black in color, and the legs have a light gray, almost white hue. The hooves on the front legs are pointed, which allows the moose to use them as an effective weapon to defend against predators such as wolves and bears. A powerful blow with such a hoof can cause serious injuries, up to a fractured skull or a split stomach. A distinctive feature of males are their huge, shovel-shaped horns, which are the largest among modern mammals. The range of the horns can reach 180 centimeters, and the weight is 20 to 30 kilograms. After the end of the rutting period, which usually falls on September-October, males shed their horns, and in April-May they begin to grow new ones. Female moose do not have horns. Due to the shape of the horns, resembling an agricultural tool or a plow, an elk is often called a sochat. Moose are inhabitants of diverse woodlands, coastal thickets of willow, steppe rivers, and lakes. In the forest tundra, they prefer birch and aspen forests. In summer, they can be found in steppe and tundra zones, sometimes at a considerable distance from forests. An important factor for their habitat is the presence of swamps, quiet rivers and lakes, where in the warmer months they find not only food in the form of aquatic vegetation, but also salvation from the heat. In winter, moose need mixed and coniferous forests with dense undergrowth. In regions where the height of the snow cover does not exceed 30 to 50 centimeters, moose lead a sedentary lifestyle. However, if the snow reaches 70 centimeters or more, they make seasonal migrations to less snowy areas. The transition to wintering grounds takes place gradually, from October to December-January. Females with moose calves are the first to set off, followed by adult males and females without offspring. Moose cover a distance of 10 to 15 kilometers per day. Spring migrations occur during snowmelt and in reverse order. Adult males are the first to return, and females with moose calves are the last. Moose are not characterized by a clear division into feeding and resting periods. In the summer heat, they become more active at night, and during the day they seek refuge in windswept clearings, lakes and swamps, plunging into water up to their necks, or in dense coniferous young trees, which serve as some protection from annoying insects. In winter, moose feed mainly during the day, and spend time on their beds at night. In severe frosts, animals burrow into loose snow, leaving only their heads and withers above the surface, which allows them to reduce heat loss. In winter, moose actively trample snow in certain areas, which hunters call camps. The location of these camps directly depends on the availability of food. In central Russia, these are usually young pine forests, in Siberia, thickets of willow or shrubby birch along riverbanks, and in the Far East, sparse coniferous forests with deciduous undergrowth. There may be several moose in one camp at the same time. In the Pryork pine forests in the 1950s, up to 100 or more moose per 1,000 hectares gathered in some areas in winter. The moose's diet is diverse and includes woody, shrubby and herbaceous vegetation, as well as mosses, lichens, and fungi. During the summer months, they feed on leaves, using their height to access foliage at a considerable height. An important place in the summer diet is occupied by aquatic and near-aquatic plants, such as vucta, kaluzhnitsa, tubers, water lilies, and horsetails, as well as tall grasses growing in burning and logging areas, for example, cypress and sorrel. By the end of summer, moose begin to look for cap mushrooms, including fly agaric, which they are believed to use as a medicine. At the same time, they eat sprigs of blueberries and lingonberries with berries. With the onset of September, they switch to biting off shoots and branches of trees and shrubs, and by November they almost completely switch to branch feed. In winter, the main food sources for moose are willow, pine, in North America, fir, aspen, mountain ash, birch and raspberry. During periods of thaw, they also gnaw the bark of trees. An adult moose consumes about 35 kilograms of feed per day in summer and 12 to 15 kilograms in winter, which is about 7 tons per year. With a high population, moose can cause damage to forest nurseries and plantings. Moose visit salt marshes almost everywhere, and in winter they lick salt even from roads. Moose have the ability to run fast, reaching speeds of up to 56 kilometers per hour, and swim well. In search of aquatic plants, they can hold their breath underwater for more than a minute. They defend themselves from predators by kicking their forelegs. Even a brown bear rarely dares to attack an adult male moose in an open area. Usually, the bear prefers to ambush in the bush to limit the moose's maneuverability. The moose's most developed sensory organs are hearing and smell. While vision is relatively weak, moose may not see a motionless person at a distance of several tens of meters. Moose rarely attack humans first. As a rule, the attack occurs in response to annoying factors or when approaching moose. Outside of the breeding season, males and non-breeding female moose prefer to live alone or in small groups consisting of 3 to 4 individuals. In summer and winter, adult females stay together with their moose calves, forming groups of 3 to 4 animals. Sometimes males and non-breeding females join these groups, forming larger herds numbering 5 to 8 heads. However, these herds break up in the spring. The moose rutting season coincides with the deer breeding season, falls on September-October and is accompanied by a characteristic dull roar of males, which is often called a moan. At this time, both males and females become agitated and show aggression, posing a danger even to humans. Males arrange fierce fights for the right to mate, which sometimes lead to death. Unlike most deer species, moose is conventionally monogamous, rarely mating with more than one female. Moose gestation lasts from 225 to 240 days, and calving occurs between April and June. There is usually one calf in a litter, although older females sometimes give birth to twins. The coloration of the newborn calf is light red, without the white spots characteristic of the color of deer. Moose calves are able to stand up within a few minutes after birth, and after 3 days they move freely. Breastfeeding lasts for 3.5 to 4 months. Moose's milk has a high fat content of 8 to 13%, which is 3 to 4 times higher than the fat content of cow's milk. In addition, it contains 5 times more protein, 12 to 16%. Sexually mature moose reach the age of 2 years. After the age of 12, the moose begins to show signs of aging. In their natural habitat, moose older than 10 years are rare, making up no more than 3% of the population. In captivity, moose can live up to 20 to 22 years.